When I arrived home from work, my wife and a couple of officers were waiting at the door. She was crying, or at least pretending to. One officer stepped forward and delivered a blow that knocked the wind out of me. "You are under arrest for the murder of your son?" I blinked, staring at them in disbelief. I tried to speak, but the words caught in my throat. "That's impossible, my son," as I never finished the sentence. The cuffs clicked into place, and the eyes of the neighbors pierced through me like daggers. In an instant, my life was shattered. 7 years. 7 years I spent loving that boy as if he were my own. Ryan wasn't mine by blood, but he was my son in every sense that mattered. He called me Dad. I taught him how to ride a bike, how to swim, how to tie his shoes. I stayed up with him when he had nightmares, when he had a fever, through science, fairs, through everything. He was the reason I didn't walk away from her when things started falling apart. Kara, my wife, used to be so sweet, so perfect in front of people. But behind closed doors, she was cruel, calculated. She knew how to twist the truth into a weapon. She had that way of pretending to be the victim when in reality, she was always the one pulling the strings. The real father died years ago. Last I knew, Kara didn't shed a tear for him. But she cried when the bank account dipped, when I questioned expenses. When I asked why Ryan came home looking scared, I didn't want to believe it. It's not until that night when I heard her yelling at him behind a closed door, "You ruined everything, you little parasite, just like your father." Then came the slap, followed by silence. I should have opened the door. I should have done something. But no, I wouldn't let myself fall into those regrets again. 2 days later, Ryan disappeared. The police filed a report. We searched the woods, the lakes, posters went up. Kara cried on television, sobbing for the cameras. People poured in their sympathy, donations, interviews, applause for the grieving mother. And me, I was the silent, devastated stepfather. No one cared about my version of the story. Now, she made sure of that. But there was something off. She wasn't grieving, not like someone who'd lost their child. She was relaxed. Free almost. Was as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. She started going out at night, wearing perfume again, taking long baths. I began watching her quietly. That's when I found the receipts, hotel stays. One name appeared over and over. Jeremy Hayes, an old boyfriend. I hired a private investigator. He confirmed Jeremy was in town. Even better, Jeremy was seen entering our house when I wasn't there. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place when I found Ryan's favorite stuffed wolf buried behind the shed, filthy, torn. My heart didn't break. It went cold, numb. That moment, that was when love died. Something darker took its place. For the next year, I played my part. I laid bricks, legal bricks. I hired my own private investigator and secretly recorded Kara's late-night meetings with Jeremy. I retrieved deleted messages from her old hard drive's messages she didn't know I had synced to the cloud. One from 3 days before Ryan's disappearance. "We can't do this until he's gone. He's a liability, you know that." The response: "He won't be a problem soon. Trust me." It wasn't solid evidence, not yet, but it was enough. I slipped the evidence to a retired detective friend who gave me one thing I needed: a cold trail. I let Kara feel safe. I stopped questioning her. I played the broken husband, the one trying to move on. But inside, I was preparing. The day after the anniversary of Ryan's disappearance, I went to the police. I handed them a box of evidence. At first, they were skeptical. Then they saw the texts, the bank records, the photos of Kara and Jeremy. But there was a twist. Ryan wasn't dead. Not really. He was hidden. That night, when Kara thought she had killed him, pushed him down the stairs, leaving him unconscious, she called Jeremy. But it was me who found Ryan first. He was barely breathing. I didn't call the police. I didn't call her. I called my sister, a nurse, 2 states away. Together, we made Ryan disappear. New identity, new school, new life. Kara thought she buried him. She thought she had erased him. But I let her live in that lie for a year. I wanted her to rot in it, so I gave the police just enough to point the finger at me. Then, day after my arrest, I requested one visitor, Kara. She came wearing a smirk, dressed as if she was headed out to brunch. I let her think she'd won. Then I leaned in and whispered, "You should be more careful with your texts." Her face froze. I told her everything, every piece of evidence I had. The calls, the bank records, the photos of her and Jeremy, and the wolf behind the shed. That was mine. She hissed at me. "You'll never prove anything." I smiled. "I already have. And Ryan is alive." She buried an empty grave. And now, the whole world knows. The charges against me were dropped that same night. The media stormed in. The headlines read like something out of a thriller. Stepmother frames husband for murder. Child found alive. Kara and Jeremy tried to blame each other, but it didn't matter. Ryan's safe now. He's healing. He doesn't know everything, not. Yet one day I'll tell him. I'll tell him how his mother tried to erase him. How I burned her lies to the ground, not with rage, but with truth. Because revenge. Revenge is best served not with blood, but with proof and silence.